Hello, my name is Payments Professor. I am him from the past. And this is Liam Olson, aka Payments Professor Jr. from the future.
Well, you know what's interesting is you do look a lot like what I look like in the past. And there's a good chance this is what you're going to look like in the future.
Okay, Liam, how are you going to start this?
Well, Liam, I want to say to you, Payments Professor, thank you and welcome to Fun with Faster Payments Flags, where today we're going to be talking about faster payments in Mexico.
What is this payment stuff? I'm from the 70s. I don't know what this payment stuff is.
Well, interesting enough, Liam, payments really started electronically in the 70s. They were around a little bit before then electronically, but they took off in the 70s. That's when they had the biggest development.
How big is the Mexico economy?
The Mexico economy is the 15th largest economy in the world, and it's actually the second largest in Latin America.
How do payments in Mexico compare to the United States?
Mexico provides an interesting case because they have a somewhat sophisticated payment system. In fact, I would say they have a industrialized, or one that is really comparable to the US, because they have the technical systems, they have the infrastructure, they even have the telecommunication systems. But they don't have the same innovation level that we have in the US, and this may be due to the low financial inclusion, particularly in rural areas, also a still very heavy reliance on cash in the unregistered or the unbanked economy. And unfortunately, Mexico is still known for a lot of its illegal activity that takes place there. And that also makes it a lot harder to be able to account for some of the things that take place in their economy, because we can only guess when that activity doesn't go truly through a bank and can't be traced. But Mexico, being on the border of the US, does have a very similar, although not nearly as large, payment system, as in they don't have the same number of transactions or the same value, overall value that we have in transactions.
What is the name of faster payments in Mexico?
It is Sistema de Pagos Electrónicos y No Bancarios, or to make it easier, SPEI.
When did it start?
It started back in 2004. SPEI started as the country's real-time gross settlement system, and it was built to really replace an older system, SPEUA. SPEI is operated by the central bank, and it was originally designed to settle large value payments in real time. Now, each payment order contains information allowing the identification of the sender client and the client to whom the payment should be credited. Any financial institution that is regulated by any of the Mexican financial authorities can participate in SPEI. Since its inception, it now settles both large and small value payments.
What is the dollar value of their payments?
Well, more than 85% of SPEI payments are for less than 100,000 pesos, which sounds like a lot, but it's really only $5,300 approximately. But it does have extensive operating hours, allowing you to be able to handle payments from financial institutions and other payment service providers, as well as the general public. SPEI follows a similar trend that we've seen in other countries, that it was regulatory initiated, and over time it has seen vast volume growth.
Does it work all the time is my only question now.
Well, it does. See, if we go back to November 2016, the central bank extended the SPEI's operating hours to be able to be 24/7, 365. And SPEI settles funds in near real time, with participant banks being obliged to send customer payment orders to the recipient bank within 30 seconds after an order is made. And recipient banks must also credit payment to their customers within 30 seconds after the payment is received. Now, interestingly enough, SPEI uses what we call an open protocol, which means that the system communications are open to the public so everybody can read and understand them. It's really very similar to what we see in, like, say, formatting of ACH files in the US, or even the messaging standard formats that we see within the clearinghouse's real-time payments. This protocol allows participants to develop automatic processes and provide more and improved services to their individual customers. And there have been several beneficiary identifiers that customers can use to make SPI payments possible, like account numbers, or they can use what they call PAN numbers.
Can people see what happened to their money?
You know what's really interesting, Liam, is I found that Banco de Mexico offers customers information services through which the customers can actually look at and see the payment status. Because when they go in and they create a payment, they get like this unique code. It's more of like a reference code that allows them to be able to go and see what happens. Now, do bear in mind that, 30 seconds and 30 seconds on both sides. That means a minute later, the money should be there. It should have taken place. But you can use this code to be able to see, did it actually go through? You can use the code to see if it rejected, why did it reject? And it gives you more information and flexibility as an end user on being able to see what's happening to your payment.
Is SPEI successful? And do people use it at all?
In the immediate aftermath of SPEI implementation, check usage was actually still relatively constant and card usage was not ubiquitous across the country. In other words, we didn't see an impact right away. However, in the last few years, the use of checks is gradually being displaced by electronic transfers and card transactions at the point of sale. Now, the trend in check usage has declined according to the Banco de Mexico. The number of checks processed between 2005 and 2012 fell from 560 million to 370 million, an average decline of about 7%. Electronic transfers rose from 350 million in 2005 to 1 billion in 2012, and that's an increase of 11%. But it's also important to note that there was a central bank mandate to promote the most efficient payments in Mexico. That's kind of like saying that the banks or the government is saying, hey, you have to do it this way. What we also saw is the central bank encourages the use of credit transfers rather than check or payments via advertising campaigns. It also uses public recommendations and deters banks from setting excessive high transfer fees. This has caused it to be used a lot. And also the standardization of account numbers has helped reduce the rejection rate.
Thank you for watching. Please smash that bell if you subscribe and crack it like Liberty Bell. Like, dislike. Say hello to this guy.
And if you want to send me a message here on LinkedIn, or if you want to send me an email, you can email me, Kevin@paymentsprofessor.com. Thank you and have a great day.